Asato ma Satgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Swami, did you have the Sanskrit word?
Some handouts have been distributed already, Devanagari, but you are in need of some more. It will be given tomorrow. Yeah. This is a popular story associated with Janaka and Ashtavakra. You all might have already come across, but it's worth paying some attention to. King Janaka had a sumptuous lunch and was lying down on his couch, and in his dream an enemy attacked the kingdom, and then he has lost all the wealth and all his power. The king who has occupied his kingdom has ordered the subjects that no one should give any food to Janaka, who has been thrown out of the palace. Now Janaka is in search of food. He is very, very hungry. He goes to beg somewhere, and they say that we cannot offer you food because there's the new law passed by the new king, but they say, but you can take the remaining food in the vessels which are put for washing. And Janaka takes it, some food scraps from there, and as even he is about to take one morsel of food, a dog pounces upon him and he falls, and suddenly he's woken up from his afternoon nap. And now Janaka is not an ordinary person who is just going to ignore a nightmare, or he's not even this conditioned person who will go to a tantric to ask, I had a dream, what can I do, some bad luck is going to come upon me. No, he didn't do that. He went into vichara. He was thinking, what is this? Which is real? This dream that I dreamt, in which I am a beggar, or the king that I am in this waking world? And he was doing Chintanam Vichara on this for a long time. The ministers were worried that this king is sitting in this contemplation all the time. So called, invited sage Ashtavakra to come to Janaka to solve his problem. Janaka presents his problem to Ashtavakra. He wants to know which is real, whether the waking person that he is, in which he is a king, or the dream in which he is a beggar. All the ministers, who are again wise people who advised the king, said, no, you are the king, you are not the beggar beggar of the dreams. And Ashtavakra comes and says, both are unreal. You as a king in this waking state, and you as a beggar in the dream state, both are equally unreal. So this is the profound teaching of Ashtavakra, where he is taking us to be that witnessing self which is beyond the three states, which is separate from the three states. The three states are the objects for that witness, which is the self, which is the awareness. So Ashtavakra is addressing from this standpoint alone. So for some people who have not been exposed to Vedanta much, sometimes it may seem, what are these standpoints, what is he talking, this is not what we heard in the Upanishad. Swami TV says like a tram car, because we are used to traveling through the text in a particular way. We want to, this is not coming, this is not coming, this we didn't say, this we did not get. No, it will not move like that. This is in Mandukya Pluti. In the moment, like of a frog, it takes a leap, takes a jump. We think that waking world alone is real. What is there in the waking world is real, and what we imagine in dreams or what we imagine is all unreal. But then he takes a mandukya pluti, that is like the movement of a frog, and leaps to our real nature, which is the witnessing self, which is beyond all these three states. All the three states are equally unreal. In Ashtavakra's approach, from the vision of Ashtavakra or from the vision of Vedanta, the waking world is as unreal as the dream world. As unreal as the dream world. So, yesterday I forgot to give a certain disclaimer for Ashtavakra Gita. Our friend Arun Sera reminded me of that this is a Nididhyasana Grantha, Nididhyasana text. So, here there are no alternative viewpoints. Ashtavakra assumes, or in this class, I have also taken liberty to assume that you have some exposure to Shastra. Of course, I know that you all have. So, Nididhyasanam is when some amount of Shravana Manana has already taken place, when some amount of Shravana Manana Samskara is there. And then, really speaking, when somebody is presenting a vision of oneness, there is no alternative viewpoint to it. Only from one ground all these Sankhyas and Nayayikas and Charuvakas and then or the Purva Mimamsa Mata, all of that. But for a person, for a wise person who is able to see this truth like a Amalaka on the palms in the daylight, for him there is no alternative viewpoint. There is no alternative viewpoint. This is one reality. You have it or you don't have it. This is not Vedanta is not like an argumentation all the time. We are arguing. No, it's all from one standpoint. That's all. Because Tatparya of the Shrutis have to be decided only at that level. For that Tatparya Nirnaya in the Shravana Kala. That's all. So some argumentations are there. This is the viewpoint of the Nayayika. This is the viewpoint of the Purva Mimamsa. But after that, really speaking, there are no alternative viewpoints. You either see it or you don't see it. One who sees it, sees it. Yaf pashyati, sa pashyati. Shri Krishna. So that is the way Ashtavakra Gita goes. I would like to take one example that I discussed yesterday and discuss a few things about the first verse and then go for the second. See, the Nama Rupas deprive us the vision of Sat. You take a flower. Already you have superimposed a Nama Rupa on existence, on Sat. This is where I said, no text, no poets, no nothing, nobody's descriptions help either. A common man sees the flower as flower in a particular color. He gives a particular name to it as he's used to in the society. A religious person sees the flower and says, this flower is the favorite flower of Lord Vishnu or Lord Shiva or this thing, so he plucks it. Or he arranges it some more. Or he adds something more to it, a leaf along with it. He does samuchaya. Or our interior decorators see it and again grab it along with some more and then say this is the actual beauty. The flower is not as it is not fine. We have to do it some more we have to do and then alone it's fine. A biologist or botanist may come and he doesn't see, in his mind these movements don't go through. For him, he sees petals, he sees stamens, he sees anthers, he sees some more things like that. Finally, however profound you may think as a spiritualist or religious person or a scientist, the limitations are at the level of Nama Rupa alone. But a Vedantin who wants to do vichara takes the reverse movement. He doesn't get involved in the Nama Rupa. For him, the questions which God likes this, which temple likes this, what arrangement I can do, those questions don't arise in his or her mind. For that person, I am seeing the flower. What is making this seeing possible? These are the questions that arise for a real Vedantin, for a person who wants to do vichara. That person will ask, who is the seer? What is the nature of the seen? Are they belonging to the same orders of reality? Is the flower real? Or am I superimposing anything anywhere in this? What is that power which is making this whole thing possible, the seeing possible? Is there a seer? Is that seer the body-mind person, or is there something more? So these questions arise in a sattvic mind. A sattvic mind is a clear mind which is not cluttered with namarupa, which is not cluttered with various conditionings. That is a sattvic mind, a clean mind, a clear mind that arises. So then alone vichara is possible. So this vichara only implies a clean, empty mind, if at all any qualification for Ashtavakra, to go along with the vichara of Ashtavakra. And that is a sattvic mind. So that is what is represented in 8th chapter of Chandogya Upanishad, which Swami TV briefly mentioned, that Asuri Upanishad is there, you may want to pay attention. Indra and Virochana. Indra is the king of the Swargaloka or the gods, or Virochana is the leader of the Asuras. And they both heard that Prajapati, who is the teacher, is advertising for a new course now in the heavens. This Atma is that which is beyond Punya and Papa, Apahata Papma. So he announces, he's announcing. So Indra, the gods also heard, Indra heard, and he wants to apply for it and then go for it now. Virochana also applied, the leader of the Asuras. Both of them went to Prajapati and requested, we have come here to learn that Atma from you, because we saw the advertisement. And he said, yes, this course just doesn't start like that. Be in the service of this Gurukulam for 32 years. Be in Brahmacharya for 32 years. Brahmacharya is a lifestyle which is conducive to develop this sattvic mind, where your focus is on yourself, not on others. So this is the intention behind Brahmacharya, celibacy, that lot of concepts are added. Why? Because the focus is you, not another person, not anything else. So that requires solitude. That requires a certain discipline of mind. That's all it is. So Indra and Virochana came, and then Prajapati after 32 years said, okay, fine, now I'm going to teach you both. You see, there is a pond or a small water body which you are seeing. Go look at yourselves there. The Purusha which is available in your eye, that is Atma. So both of them went there, said they saw their reflection. And then reflection is available in the eye. That's how you see. Then both of them were nice. Okay, we got to know what is Atma. That this body which is reflecting there, which I am able to see in the eye again, that is Atma. So Virochana and Indra both of them were very happy. So they both went back to their respective places. Indra went to heaven, and then Virochana went to his kingdom of Asuras. And mind you, Virochana announced now I am going to do another course. Another camp, another this thing. I am going to teach you all, because I went there, I was there for 32 years, now I am going to teach you all. Then he called all the demons and said, this body is Atma. And before this, one more episode had happened. Prajapati called both of them again. See, 32 years you were in a very simple attire. Now go get dressed up and see your reflection. Then both of them said, yeah, our reflection is fine. Then with that background, Virochana came back and said, this body is Atma. The welfare of the body is the welfare of the Atma. The more you anoint, the more you decorate it, more you embellish it, the more embellished will be the Atma. Thus, you will not have sorrow. That's why we were learned that this Atma puts an end to our sorrow in the course, and then this body is the Atma, and then may you all get involved with the welfare of this body through all 5 sense organs. So this is the Asuri Upanishad. So Asuras, Asushu Ramante, people who take pleasure in the sense pleasures alone. Those are the Asuras really. They are not having any weird structures. It could be me, it could be you. We have to analyze. So this is the Asuri Upanishad. What is that Upanishad? The welfare of the body. Body is Atma. The welfare of the body alone is the Atma. But Indra got a doubt. What is this? If this body when this body dies, there will not be any reflection in the pond, and thus there will not be Purusha available there in the eye. There must be something more. He went back. He was on the way to the heaven. He did not reach. He again came back and asked further. Again further. Thus he got this knowledge from Prajapati. What was that knowledge? This Atma, this body and mind is not the Atma. That is what he learned. So Ashtavakra is directly presenting this vision. He does not give any discount, any leverage to the body identification. So it implies for him, he has rejected the body identification, and from that standpoint he is teaching. Ashtavakra Gita is for one who is at least some effort is put in order to disidentify with the body. So first few chapters of Ashtavakra Gita, he points out to be that witnessing self. From you are all the time identified with the body and mind. Thus, whatever the attributes of the body and mind you take yourself to be, small, big, high, tall, tension, all that, because there is identification with the mind. Now Ashtavakra says, stay as witness. Let us proceed the journey. From there alone, he is again telling that. And that's why the first verse of 16th chapter again came. Let us look into the verse. Ashtavakra uvacha achakshvashrunuva tata nana shastranyanekashah tathapi na tava swasthyam sarva vismaranadhrite. Swasthyam, abidance in oneself, in that sat. So Ashtavakra is saying, unless you unload from your consciousness all the contents of the body, the contents of the mind, the contents of Manomaya Kosha, contents of Vijnanamaya Kosha, you will not be able to abide in the self. You will not be able to abide in Sat. So unload. You give up. That's what he says. In Panchadashi, I think first chapter somewhere, it is said, a wise person having taken the scriptures in will give it up, like how husk is separated from the rice. After that, how easily you blow it and give it up, like that person gives it up. So that is what that unloading is, what is indicated here. We are filling our minds with a lot of content. Some people the worldly content, and sometimes we come to spiritual pursuits or the pursuit of Adhyatma, and we again load the mind with a new set of tenets, new sets of structures, new sets of conditioning, belief systems. If you are going to retain it and want to pursue Nididhyasanam, or which is in the abidance of self, it is not going to happen. Not going to happen. You stay as witness. In order for a life of becoming, you need all this content. The content of the mind is required when you want to become something. This is a journey just to be, a reverse journey. Again, which are a reverse journey. From a life of becoming, you have to turn towards being. Life of being means, odd expression, you just be, you be, Sat. So it's a reverse moment again. For a life of becoming, you need all this. Of course, no doubt. From that standpoint, take it like that. But in order to be, you don't need a second thing. You don't need a second thing. You don't need anything else. And Ashtavakra goes to the extent to say, Shastrani. Shastras also you don't need in order to be. See, this is one very important tenet of Advaita Vedanta, insight of Advaita Vedanta. This it is discussed in Bhashyas. Atma is Pramana Siddha or Atma is Svata Siddha. Atma is going to come after Shastra Vichara, or Atma is Atma already there? It's already there. Svata Siddha. Self-evident. You don't need a pramana to make it evident. Something which is outside, you need a pramana, a means of knowing, in order to make that object of knowledge evident. There is chair, I need the instrument of mind, I also need a set of eyes to perceive it. But what means do you need? The feeling of I, the witnessing awareness, the witnessing self. You don't need a second thing. You don't need pramana for it to reveal. It is self-evident. What has happened, unfortunately, it is covered with ignorance. So the role of Shastra, the role of the Guru, the role of this entire effort is to remove that ignorance. And the self is self-evident. You don't need to do anything. What you need to do is to unload. That's what Ashtavakra is telling. Sarva Vismarana Dhrite. Vismarana is in a way forgetting, unless you forget it all or you leave it all. Vismarana can also be taken as unless you unload, unless you give it up. That is the profound implication of this text. I request you to pay attention to the implications of what you hear. As you roam around near Ganges, pay attention to the implications of the words of Vedanta that you have taken in these classes. Then alone this thing works. Otherwise, it will just be again something you heard, something you retained. If it will just be at Manomaya level, we won't progress. So, in this particular idea is indicated in Viveka Chudamani. In 62nd verse, Shankaracharya says, a sickness is not cured by merely repeating the word medicine, medicine. It must be taken in. Liberation does not come just by saying the word Brahman, Brahman. Shankaracharya, Viveka Chudamani, 62nd verse. So, here, from a web of words, from a world which is created through words, we have to put it aside and just be. Just be. That is what Ashtavakra is indicating in this particular verse. Let us proceed further. Second verse. Bhogam karma samadhim va. Bhogam karma samadhim va. Bhogam karma samadhim va. Bhogam karma samadhim va. Kuru vignya tathapite. Kuru vignya tathapite. Chittam nirasta sarvasham. Chittam nirasta sarvasham. Chittam nirasta sarvasham. Chittam nirasta sarvasham. Atyartham rocha ishyati. Atyartham rocha ishyati. Atyartham rocha ishyati. Atyartham rocha ishyati. Ashtavakra is pointing out another important thing for us to pay attention. he's telling you may go in the Bhoga Marga. You can take the Yoga Marga. Bhoga Marga is what? You may keep on, you may go on fulfilling certain desires. Desires as they come in our minds are fulfilled. You go for it, you fulfill it. That is the Bhoga Marga. Desires arise in the mind. You go out, you get that object of desire or whatever that person of desire or whatever the situation of your desire, and you fulfill it. And then you have a sense of calm only at that moment. Or some people take to Yoga Marga. So they have taken this desiring mind, they have taken it as their objective in order to snub these desires. Yoga Marga, I'm meaning in this sense. That is the meaning I'm giving here to the Yoga Marga. Don't bring Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti, which Yoga Marga you are talking. No. Here, as Yoga Marga, what I mean here is that people have taken as their objective just to snub the desires. So that even at that moment, a person put a lot of desire. Chitta vritti nirodha has happened because desire is a chitta vritti. Desire is something which arises in the mind. So this person has put forth some effort to snub that desire, to control or subduing that desire. Suppress is the good word, yeah. Yes, try to suppress the desire momentarily. Even that person has a sense of calm at that point. So these two people are in their journeys. Ashtavakra is telling here, bhogam va karma samadhim va. You may go on in this bhoga marga, or you might have taken this samadhi marga, where you are suppressing desires momentarily. Whatever you may do, unless you come to terms with sat, which is atyartham, atikrantham artham, all the artham, dharma, artha, kama, unless you move beyond all these three, you are not going to get established in yourself. Your yearning for something more is not going to stop. Let us examine this. In this Bhoga Marga, this yearning for something is not going to stop. But that is not known to that person. He or she goes for a car. Okay, I got a desire, I am restless, I want a car. So that person thinks by fulfilling a desire, I am going to be happy, contented. Then he goes for the car. Momentarily, when the car keys come to the hand, at that point alone, that person does not have desires. So he's contented at that moment. You know, that desire does not stop there. His yearning for something more is not going to stop at that. He's going to yearn for a seat cover. He's going to yearn for a car insurance, a premium policy. He's yearning for something more and a better music system inside. So then this car must have satisfied his desire and he must have been contented. No. After 3 years, he wants to again give it up and then get one more. Or just change. Because now that ruchi has gone from him. When he sits and driving, that some pride or some feeling of excitement which that car used to bring in him is gone. So he's yearning for something more. Similarly, Ashtavakra is pointing out folly in this karma samadhimva, in this yoga marga, where you have subdued some desires, snubbed desires, but again you come out of the samadhi, you are again wanting something more, or again you are again desiring to snub the desires. There is a nice story associated with Buddhism. Buddha in one of the discourses said, desire is the cause for all suffering. So all his shishyas went up to take it very seriously, and then they were doing all sadhanas possible to give up the desires. Then Buddha came, and then they all said to Lord Buddha, we have given up desires, we are trying our best to snub the desires, but yet nothing is happening. And Buddha said, you are still desiring to end desires. So this yearning, this desire to even end the desires will go away only when you are established in that witnessing self. As a witness, you are just able to see the movement of the mind and just don't get involved there. You are not involved. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthan manogatan. That is what Sri Krishna says about this jnani who has his abidance in self. He is able to just be a witness of the entire moment, the moment that takes place in the mind. Mind is but the moment. Entire moment he is able to just be a witness. Unless you get established as the witness, as Sat, this yearning for something more is not going to end. That is what Ashtavakra is telling in the second verse. You may take Bhoga Marga or Yoga Marga. And at this level, so for the outsider, this Yoga Marga may seem something great. But in Ashtavakra's drishti, they both are at the same level. One is trying to hold on to something, somebody else is putting a lot of effort to give up something. See, there is a trick you may want to pay attention, or as insight you may want to pay attention in Vedanta. You have to give up only when you are holding on to something. The thing of giving up comes, the concept of giving up comes only when you are holding on to something. When there is no holding on to something, there is no giving up also. See, that is the standpoint of Ashtavakra. Our mind always moves around in this dichotomy. Pain, pleasure, we don't know something in between. This is team A, this is team B. And we think team A must oppose team B. We don't know a neutral place. The mind does not know a neutral place. So this journey is discovering that neutral place. What is that neutral place? That witnessing self. You are the witness of the entire moment of the mind. Uninvolved witness. You are not involved. So, a jnani is uninvolved. Whatever may come in the mind, he does not identify it and move along with it. What happens to an ajnani? Something comes and he gets identified because his identification is with the body and the mind. A sensation comes in the body, so he identifies with that sensation and goes along. Something comes in the mind, he identifies with it. He or she identifies with it. See, he, she and all, this is the limitation of the language. We have to use something. If I were to give this discourse in Canada, there are laws which ask me to use some more pronouns. So, this is the limitation of the language. We have to just use something and we give expression. If you really too much analyze in this, then what is that he, this, that, we'll keep on rationalizing, we'll miss the whole game. See, no prakriya by itself is like faultless. You must understand in Vedanta. No prakriya, something will be there. Because prakriya is an unreal thing. It's an upaya. You can never have a watertight prakriya. Once I was having conversation with one of my teachers, Swami Sadatmananda ji. He pointed it out to me. He said, at some point I used to put a lot of effort to make the prakriya watertight. But a prakriya, a method, an upaya can never be watertight. There will be something. So you cannot just keep on going in that direction. You have to leave it at some point. Pujya Swamiji used to beautifully point out the role of prakriya. You know, when you are building, you put this external structures. What is it called? Scaffolding. Scaffolding is not a real thing. It is put in place in order to aid something. So once that role is done, the scaffolding must be dismantled. It must be removed. And the scaffolding, some fault will be there in scaffolding all the time. Even in US, some injury will happen even though they have planned it all. Somebody will fall from somewhere and there will be some accident. So it can never be watertight. So you don't rationalize too much when you say for a jnani he or she will not have as an ability to just be a witness, and who is that he, that jnani has a gender or the no, all that, no, leave it at that. So coming to the point here is that our yearning for something more is not going to stop unless we are able to abide in self as a witness. So here again, identification at the level of body, mind, vijnanamaya, manomaya has to be shunned, stopped, and you just be a witness. Param drishtva nivartate, Bhagavad Gita. Only if you have this insight about the true self, then alone this yearning for something more can be stopped. It just goes away, it just disappears. Otherwise, yogarato va, bhogarato va, sangharato va, sanghavihinaha. Whatever you may be, unless you take, you get established in Brahmani, in Sat, this game is not going to end. This yearning for something more is not going to end. That is the tatparya of this verse. So here Ashtavakra is telling, O wise man, you may enjoy the world, you may go for activities, karma, you may go for activity, or you may go for samadhi, the practice of a particular meditation to curb the desires, the thoughts. You may do any of this or all of this, but still your yearning for your true nature will not stop unless you are able to establish in that which is beyond all objects, which is beyond all objects, which is you, which is not an object. That is what Ashtavakra is telling. All the time we are involved in objects. We never pay attention to the subject, the I. We always operate at the level of objects, which is outside. We identify, we go along with it. We lose the game. Here Ashtavakra wants us to pay attention to the subject, I. Inquire, get inside, and just be. And this yearning will stop automatically. This yearning will stop. Then there is no effort. This is an effortless journey. That is what Ashtavakra is indicating here. We'll move to the next verse. Ayasat sakalo dukhi. Ayasat sakalo dukhi. Nainam janati kaschana. Nainam janati kaschana. Anenaivopadeshena. Anenaivopadeshena. Dhanyah prapnoti nivritim. Dhanyah prapnoti nivritim. Ashtavakra is now pointing out to something very important aspect that you must know in this Atma Vichara. What we think in this journey is that the self, we make it a goal and put it outside somewhere. Some people put it in an experience, some people put it in a book, some people put it elsewhere, or some people hand it over to the guru. Some people do all sort of things and they think that some great effort has to be put and to gain it. But this is a reverse movement. Ashtavakra's insights are just amazing. He says, when you have never lost it, when it is not away from you, where is the question of effort? There is no effort. Anything which is outside you, you need an effort to get it. You don't need effort in order to just be. To become something else than what you are, there's an effort involved. In just being, there's no effort. It's an effortless journey. It's an effortless journey. So he is telling, Ashtavakra is telling, Ayasat sakalo dukkhi. Sakalaha. Everyone is dukkhi, are suffering, in pain. Why? Ashtavakra says, Ayasat. They're all the time putting forth effort. In Bhoga Marga or Yoga Marga, or even in Adhyatma Marga, people have this orientation that something has to be positively gained. Something has to be positively gained. If I have to point out an Sanatana Dharma, an Indian mentality, this is deeply etched within. Because in the Karma Khanda, which is very strong orientation in the majority of the people, something has to be done in order to gain something. A yajna has to be performed in order to go somewhere, and that is believed to be moksha. Going somewhere is believed to be moksha. So they are familiar with that effort. A lot of effort goes into doing an yajna. And they think that the punya is a result of this effort, and then this punya will take you to heaven, and then going somewhere is moksha. Puja Swami used to joke, ये जाने का बात नहीं है, ये जानने का बात है. मोक्षा कहीं इधर उधर जाने का बात नहीं है, ये जानने का बात है. That you must know, you must understand that you are the moksha swarupa. Moksha is ever present. It is not going to come suddenly pop up after 3 years, 2 years, after 7 days camp or 10 days camp. No, it's not that. See, this karma kanda orientation has to be given up. In a religious life versus spiritual life, or if we have to take a karmatas approach to a Vedantin's approach, these factors must be paid attention. One will be dukkhi as long as you put moksha in these categories. What are the categories? I'll discuss that. Utpadyam. Moksha, if you say it is something which is going to be produced as a result of some effort, you will be still dukkhi, because effort is involved. Effort is involved because you think that moksha is utpadyam. Utpadyam means something which is produced. And that this already you have put the factors of time as well. Something must be produced. Like punya, something has to be produced after a ritual. So you have lost the game. You will continue to be doing one or the other karma. You will never be able to abide in yourself. So utpadyam, moksha is not utpadyam. It is not result of an action. Moksha is not the result of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Even though, because sometimes it is presented like that in some words, but it is not something like that. Moksha is not a new state which is going to be produced after Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. No, it's not like that. Mokshasya nityatvat. It is nitya. It is timeless. Nitya means, again, we are accustomed to these conditioning. You see, nityam, eternal. When you say, you bring in factor of time and say eternal means that which is always going to be there. No, it's not like that. It is timeless. Nityam means, no, it's not just something which is going to be continuing in time. All 3 periods of time it is not going to be there. Okay, so you think that 3 periods of time are real, and this moksha is going to be there in time constantly. No, it's not that. It's not utpadyam, it's nityam. And some people may think effort is involved vikaryam also, when you have to modify something. We think that as our body mind configuration is, it is not proper, we have to align, we have to modify, then moksha will come. No, you will be putting forth your effort forever and never be at peace. In the process, in the twisting and turning of the body, the physical health may be there, of course, no doubt, but not the real swasthyam, which is moksha. That is a far-fetched idea. Or some people may take this whole journey of adhyatma or moksha as samskaryam, purification. Samskara is purifying, cleansing. So a big effort is taken up to cleanse. This is there in Jainism and few other schools, that there is impurity and some atmas are impure and you have to cleanse it. So a lot of effort goes into cleansing all the time. They assume themselves to be dirty, they assume themselves to be defiled, and they cleanse. Karmakandis assume all the time, because operate from body mind level. They think the body, if somebody touch, a person belonging to particular group touches, the body becomes impure, I have to do samskara, make it pure. No, effort is involved. No. Or some people will put the moksha into the category of prapyam, which is not there now. I will do Shravana Manana Nidhyasana, 7 days camp, 3-year course, 32 years like Indra Virochana, and then moksha will come. No, it's not that. You have to analyze, you have to understand that as long as there is effort, moksha is a far-fetched idea. Swasthyam, to be established in yourself, is a far-fetched idea. See, there is another catch here. When will effort come in? When there is a karta in place, a doer in place. A doer wants to do something, wants to put forth some effort in order to gain something. So in this whole journey, you have retained yourself to be a doer. The doership is never given up. The doer is very much there. The limited doer want to be unlimited, limitless, infinite. It's not going to happen. Finite can never become infinite. Because becoming, it's not there. We have to, this is a cognitive shift. This is a radical shift in your cognitive thinking, that you must understand that I am, as I am free. I am free. The question of bondage comes only when you identify with the body mind. When there is